Hey everyone, I am driving home from work and I have a little pep in my step. I've just been thinking so much about Torn, so I figured I would record something quick just about what Torn is and encourage folks who haven't checked it out yet to check it out. So we did some outreach the other day for the first time for Torn, so kind of going out into the public space in person, kind of telling people about Torn. I got a couple recordings of some live conversations where my goal was to kind of replicate a mini version of Torn as well as I could, and I think I did okay. But so here's my struggle: is I want to preserve the genuine and personal feel of Torn, which is why I don't record the conversations, the discussions, the Q&A, the debate, if you want to call it that. I record the presentations as a resource for those who weren't able to make it on a given week. They can still kind of stay a part of the conversation. Like if they miss a week or two, you at least know what we've kind of been talking about. But I really want it to be very personal, a personal group where we interact with each other on a regular basis, and the content's not the priority. The people are the priority, and coming to the group and participating in the group, that's the priority. So I would rather have 12 people feel perfectly comfortable every week just saying what they want to say than get 1 million views. So that's kind of the number one goal. Now the downside of that is it's a little bit hard to illustrate to the world what exactly it is we do in Torn because it's not recorded. So that was part of my motivation for doing this outreach, is to try to get some people who aren't a part of Torn yet to agree to being recorded very briefly, to allow me to kind of talk with them in the way that we talk in Torn. So I'll be posting those somewhat shortly, I hope, and hopefully those will be a good illustration of the spirit in which we conduct Torn. But I wanted to encourage folks, if you haven't checked out Torn, it is a very chill group where we are just people wanting to explore truth and spiritual matters, talking about religion, philosophy, just what do we believe about the world. And what came to my mind just now before I hit record was just how important the questions are that we discuss. Is there a God? What happens when we die? What's up with all of these competing claims that are made by different religions? How do we know what's true and what isn't true? And how are we supposed to live, and why are we here? I mean, what better way is there to spend your Saturday morning than discussing these questions in a group of people who also just genuinely want to understand these things, and a group where you may get some very different answers to those questions, and you can hear the different answers and the reasons behind those answers, and then you can interact with those people hopefully time and again, week after week, and you can see how not just their one answer to that one question, but how that answer fits in with everything else that person believes. And you say, okay, they had a really good answer to that, but as I'm seeing the rest of their worldview, it doesn't exactly fit. Or the other way around, I wasn't sure about their one answer to that one question, but everything else, they're saying makes sense, and I can see how it all fits together. And so that's the advantage of Torn, is you're getting usually the same people week after week, and it builds understanding. I think when you're not just hearing one quick answer, but you're actually seeing entire worldviews played out over time. So what an awesome way to spend your time. We spend our time doing so much stuff that isn't such, I spend so much of my time, on spreadsheets at work, or watching, videos on my phone. It's man, those are not like high stakes things I'm doing with my life, but the kinds of questions we're exploring in Torn are very high stakes and just extremely important. So, I'd encourage you to spend at least a little time looking into those things, and I think we're a pretty good group to do that with. So if you're interested, shoot me a message or an email, or drop a comment on this video when I inevitably post it. We would just so love to have you, and you know what, if you don't join, that's totally cool too. Feel free to just keep watching what we're doing, and that's all right. Maybe one day you'll decide to join, and if it's a timing thing, as we grow, there may eventually be different days and times that are open to you as an option. So anyway, just would love to have you, and thank you all for whatever capacity you've been kind of involved. Just thank you. It's been a fun process so far doing Torn. So thanks for listening, and God bless.